So the finale just aired, and I gotta tell you, I am shitting my pants. So many things happened, so much wish fulfillment, and that ending, that was amazing. First off, the reunion with Tyrion, Bronn, and Pod the Rod was just perfect. Not too much love, kissy kissy gaga, no hugs, but you still got the impression that they were legitimately still happy to see each other again. That was really cool. Also, when the Hound heard about Arya being alive, that was touching. There's been a huge shift in his character since season 1. He's a lot more humble now, and it feels like he's actually moving with purpose rather than just constant anger all the time. And we're glad he still likes chickens. And then we have the big truce meeting. Seeing Daenerys riding in on Drogon was awesome. I would have liked to see her riding over the city of King's Landing, maybe have the commoners look up and the people in Flea Bottom see her, just to really hammer home how much of a symbol she is. The Hound goes right up to his brother, and you just know it's gonna be epic. He notices what happens to him, but he doesn't seem too surprised. Like nothing's changed because Gregor was always a monster to him. And then the Hound says,
"You know who's coming for you. You've always known."
Hype intensifies. The only real gripe I have for this episode is that the Hound was roughly the same size as the Mountain, where the Mountain should be at least a foot taller. I know the showrunners can't find a jacked 8-foot tall actor, but they could have given him like a little extra boot heel or something. When the Hound was opening up that box, I was so terrified that the White was going to be dead, like the magic wore off or the signal broke. But I was so happy when I saw it barrel out and just make a beeline for Cersei. Seeing her shoot herself was probably the second most satisfying thing in this episode. Also, I love Jaime and Qyburn's reactions, even if they were only on screen for a few seconds. We can see Qyburn trying to put together how the White was animated, and we might see him creating a countermeasure for this in the future. After soiling herself, Cersei says that she'll agree to a truce, only if Jon and the rest of the North vows to stay out of the war when it resumes again. And we see Jon tell her, "I'm sorry, I've already pledged allegiance to the Dragon Queen." This is what caused Cersei to say, "Well, fuck it, you're on your own." And Tyrion says, "Yo, my man, that was honorable, but you could have just lied." And then we get a really interesting line from Jon here. He says that he knows that honor is what got his father killed, but at the same time, we can't just keep lying all the time because eventually words will no longer have meaning and we'll all end up dead. That's a really interesting take on the situation. It's like he was talking directly to the fans who criticized Ned Stark when he went to King's Landing, so really, really interesting line there. We see Tyrion talking to Cersei after this really emotional scene. Actors nailed them perfectly. Great job. Also, on the topic of great acting, we finally say goodbye to Littlefinger. The writers, I think, did a pretty decent job setting up this episode. I actually believe for a little bit Sansa was dumb enough to try and pin everything on Arya, but the second I saw her turn her head towards Baelish, I was just like, ah. We hear all of his crimes come out, including the complete fabrication of the Stark and Lannister conflicts, as well as the murder of Jon Arryn and how he maneuvered his way into the Vale, and after hearing all of that, I was truly impressed by him. It's like he had a lifelong crusade against the Starks, and he actually did a pretty decent job of getting his revenge. But now he's stretched himself too thin. He always seemed so nonchalant and confident in himself, so it was interesting to see how he just broke down after he realized he has no true allies and no more cards to play. And we see him for what he truly is, a sad little boy begging for his life just like he was when Bran almost killed him. Theon finally seemed to have found his balls after losing him so many seasons ago, and I'm making the prediction that he'll die saving Yara. Like he can't beat Euron in a fight, so he sacrifices himself. I think that'll be a true redeeming ending to his character, and that'll be a great way to send him off. Also, Alfie Allen, another great character, nailing that character transformation. I know I keep complimenting the actors a lot, but they deserve it. Cersei claims to help Daenerys and Jon fight, but we learn she's lying to them and actually is plotting to have the Golden Company come and fight for her after the war. And that is the last straw for Jaime. We just see their relationship just deteriorate. After all this time, he just doesn't mean that much to her, so we finally see Jaime ditching her and riding off to join his true family. I wonder if he'll ever be romantically involved with somebody else, because according to him, he's only ever been with Cersei. I'm curious to see how Daenerys will view him after the convoy battle, so looking forward to Season 8. And then we have probably the best scene in the episode, Sam and Bran figuring out who Jon really is. Bran tells Sam, "Hey, Jon is actually Rhaegar's bastard, not my father's." Then Sam says, "Oh wait, if he's Rhaegar's son, then he's not actually a bastard, because he married Lyanna." And then we get this awesome flashback to the wedding scene and finally see Rhaegar Targaryen, the dragon, in person. I've seen a few comments complaining about how his hair is styled just like Viserys's and not unique, but I think it's actually the other way around. I think this was Rhaegar's hairstyle originally, and Viserys was just trying to copy him, trying to be him and try to emulate what his brother was. Still really freaking cool to see Rhaegar on screen. Also, we finally see Jon ride a dragon, #boatsex, and in regards to the incest, let me just say this. It's okay, 'cause they're both hot. And finally, we have the ending. The Night King rides to Eastwatch on Viserion, and we can finally put the debate to bed. An undead dragon breathes blue fire, and from the looks of it, it is really powerful. He completely destroyed that wall in a matter of minutes. The episode ends with the army of the dead marching past the wall with what looks like 30 giants on screen with probably 100 more somewhere else. I'm really curious to see what drives the White Walkers. Like, what do they want? Can they be reasoned with? Because clearly they have some emotion. So that was the finale. I'm really hoping I don't die before Season 8 gets released. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing day.